price.
This is a 1986 Hannah Davis. My mom bought this on Facebook Marketplace for $2,000, so it's not mine. You may have noticed the motorcycle that was crispified next to the crispified shop. And well, that was my dad's, and this is his surprise replacement. Yeah, it's kind of rough right now, but it should run. It's only been sitting for about a year, and obviously it has some visual issues. But yeah, even though I'm not a Harley guy, I mean, it's got an engine and a carburetor. I mean, how hard can it be? It's already marked its territory. It's only been on the trailer for an hour, so that's really nice. But yeah. King Tour Pack. Harleys are also something I can never tell the year of. Obviously, I know this one's an 86, but looking at it without knowing that, I know it's somewhere between 1970 and present. I cannot tell. There's a battery out on this thing. I see no battery.
Where?
You can tell I don't know shit about bikes. Well, I figured the battery would be easy to get to, but no, it's buried under this panel. Nice. Got this goofy oil reservoir thing. Dipstick's totally dry. This is probably not the correct oil, but it's the oil it's getting. I'm pretty sure this is the oil tank I'm putting this in. Smells like oil. That didn't quite do it. We'll put some ATF in there too. We'll give it a flush. There's at least something in there. Imagine if this thing just started. That would be great. Hannah Davidson. So key is missing, but it lets me turn the ignition on. So am I missing something here? It has power. The ignition's on. Oh. Okay, it does crank. Whoa. Why'd it go into gear? Shit, in neutral a second ago. Uh-oh. Why is it just putting itself into gear? I don't understand. Oh, forget about neutral. What's going on here? Oh no! That's not what we want. We don't like that. Not in the yard, come on now.
Oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, it's just pouring out over here. Can you like stop? Witness Harley Davidson in action. Running out of cardboard. Okay, this ought to work. Well, in case you didn't know, it has oil leak. Clearly there's something I don't know here, because this is the overflow, I'm assuming, and it's just pouring out of it. Like, do I have to, is it like a transmission? Do I gotta check the oil level while it's running or something? Like, what's going on here? I looked it up, and apparently you're only supposed to check the oil when it's at operating temperature. So the only reason I can think of that it'd be coming out of a breather is if it's over full. So maybe if I crank it more, I don't know. Belt conditioner, highly flammable. Sounds great. It actually runs nice. It poured even more oil out of its hole, but looks like it stopped, so I think it might have actually just been overfilled. The oil light's not on, so we're probably good. Rear tire is damn near flat, and I could feel it. It wasn't happy. Well, shit. It's not much of a revival if it doesn't need reviving. Runs fine already. Shift's fine too, from what I can tell. Obviously, it still needs work. It needs a service. That oil is black and it's all fugly and broken. There's a gauge missing here. Don't know what that was. Anyway, I gotta move it again now. Okay. Yeah, this thing's been monkeyed with before. There's wire nuts all over the place for that non-original radio, plugs that don't go to anything, this nonsense. The speaker's just falling out of here. Rage Boss Audio Systems. Okay. They just built the entire bike around this fair. You gotta remove literally everything to get this stupid interfering off. Like all these cables and everything run through it. Dumb. Leaking a lot of oil at this point. Might want to look into that. Anyway, went to Harbor Freight and got a motorcycle lift because we're gonna replace the rear tire, the drive belt, and probably some other stuff. Okay, well, it's on there. Ooh, man, that thing moves around a lot. Ugh. This is a really heavy bike. It kind of acts like it wants to slip off, but thankfully it's only really sketch, so we're all right. Anyway, reason I started on this is because we're waiting on parts for the face that we ripped apart. Okay, so the main sort of mechanical thing we're gonna do to this bike is replace the rubber drive belt, because we don't know how old it is, and it is a safety item, because basically if that thing snaps, the rear wheel can lock up and it's a wild ride from there. So basically there's a bunch of shit in the way. This crap has to come off, the clutch has to come off, and this garbage is in the way, and there's just a lot of nonsense blocking us from replacing it easily. Remind me what's wrong with chains again? What is this? Ugh, it's the juice valve. Harley Davidson. Ooh, yeah. I'm sure that's really good for it. Yes. Yeah. There is a little drain plug right here, but we can't use it because it's stripped out. So I'm really happy about that. Is that good? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look bad in here, considering this thing's a 1986 and there's no sludge or anything. There's some metal chunks here and there, but like nothing crazy or anything. I feel like this chain's been replaced before since there's no wear on the tensioner. Maybe that means we got a new clutch too. That'd be nice. We still gotta remove it all, get the belts off though. Yeah, this clutch has definitely been replaced before. It looks pretty much brand new. Okay, maybe not brand new, but it looks pretty good, so we don't need a clutch. That's always nice. I don't have a socket that big. Yeah. Ugh. We have the socket. Pretty sure this is reverse thread. Now what? Thing here is, I don't know. Supposedly this is just supposed to come right off, but it ain't coming right off. Might have to get a slide hammer. Come off! Okay, well, I'll buy a slide hammer, I guess. I also forgot I need a big ass socket for this too, so I'll get one of those. Okay, we got an even bigger ass socket and a slide hammer. Okay, now how do we attach this without breaking something. We got a lot of options here. Problem is all this stuff is aluminum and fragile, so I can't really be too aggressive without breaking it. I'm really afraid of just breaking this aluminum. It's supposed to just slide off. We already removed the nut and all the snap rings and stuff, and it's stuck for no reason. Of course it is. Why is it so stuck? I just really wish it wasn't dumbass aluminum so we could just beat on it and get it out. Dum dum dum. Okay, I went back to the store, bought a heat gun. We're gonna heat up this aluminum and hopefully that'll loosen it up. I'm gonna be here a while. Okay, well, we're at the point where I'm just gonna have to get mean and hope it doesn't break. I don't know how much one of these costs, but... Ooh. Ooh, yeah, finally. Okay, we flacked it real good and now it's loose. Oh yeah, the extra big ass socket I got. That's another trip to the store. Okay, I got a big ass breaker bar that goes on the big ass socket to break loose the big ass nut. What? It was already loose. So, okay, sure. This side's not stuck at least. I'm gonna mark which way this chain goes back. Trying to keep everything as organized and clean as I can. Working on motorcycles is always more annoying than working on cars, just because there's so much little teeny tiny piddly shit you have to keep track of, and if you lose even a single one, you're absolutely hosed. An O-ring seals this? Okay, I'll have to find one of those. See a little crack there. What's up with that? It wasn't me. This belt has a lot of places where rocks have gotten in it, and some of the teeth are just straight up detached. So yeah, it really did need to be replaced. So this swing arm has to come off now, which I'm not a big fan of. This was already loose. I'm noticing a pattern here. Really? They really blocked that bolt, huh? Fantastic. I'd rather be working on a Mopar. The exhaust has to come off. Of course it does. They didn't have to block that. They chose to. Get out of my life. A through bolt. That's crazy. Sure. This is the left side. Whoa. Aye. Oh. Whoa. I'd really rather not remove this fender. Here we go. No. Okay. Okay, all this nonsense just to remove these two things. So that's nice. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this to a tire shop because mounting a tire without the proper tools to do it is my idea of hell. This new belt seems beefier. It's thicker and heavier, so that's cool, I guess. Okay, so now that we've removed this crap, now we get to remove more crap because I can't put this stuff back because I don't have seals yet, and I can't put the wheel back because the tire's not mounted yet. So I'm gonna start on this fairing that's just in fantastic shape. They put cables through it, so those have to come off, and always set the trip odometer to 7s for good luck. been freed. Okay, so this thing is garbage. We got a new one. This one doesn't have as many gauge slots, but that'll be all right. It's all I could find. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to just get away with cleaning and polishing this thing, or if I'm gonna have to fog it with black paint. We'll see. I ended up just polishing it. Looks a lot nicer. Okay, so this thing has oil pressure, oil temperature, and volts gauges. And since this fairing doesn't have as many holes for gauges as the old one did, we've got to only put 2 in. And I think I'm gonna go with oil pressure and volts. I'd say oil temp is the least important one, so yeah. Well, I got us some new lights because these are all smashed up and missing, but the plug is wrong and the wires are different colors. So yeah, I'm gonna have to decipher this now. This looks expensive. How in the shit does this reattach? I don't remember. No. Of course, we got to put the speakers in. You can't ride a motorcycle with no speakers. Everybody knows that. And everyone in America knows the sound of a Harley blaring country music that's so distorted you can't hear it as it drives by. It's my tractor sexy. Also got it a new fender. Not that there's anything wrong with this fender. I just want to replace it anyway. A completely arbitrary decision. It also has this rusty hook on it that I'm not sure what's for, that the old one doesn't have, so it needs to go away. And we'll just stick a bolt through the hole so it looks like it was meant to be. They put these stupid bendy metal tabs on the bolts that hold the fender on, and I can't get to them, so I'm gonna have to take this wheel off. Shit. Well, I can't get the front wheel off the ground because of course I can't, because the jack's in the wrong position to do that, but I can't move it because there's no rear wheel to reposition it, so yeah, we can't change the fender right now. Okay, so since our old fairing is damaged, to say the least, had to get a replacement. I believe Harley called this color butt ugly orange. We're gonna have to paint it either way. And it's also damaged in the same spot, but not near as bad, so we can repair that. We got some PC70 epoxy to glue this shit back together again, followed up by some flex filler. This is basically just normal body filler, but it flexes with the plastic and doesn't crack. Yeah. Okay, we'll let that cure for 24 hours and hopefully it'll hold. Okay, well that glued together pretty good. Didn't get anywhere the clamp was, but it'll be fine. So now I'm gonna take the filler, I'm gonna fill in all the imperfections, and yeah, and then we can paint it. The paint is chipped in a million different places on this thing. Now you might be wondering why I bought a broken fairing to fix the other broken fairing, and it's because parts availability on these is non-existent. You can find nice reproduction stuff for the like 90s and later electric glides, but for the 80s ones, not so much. So we're stuck with buying broken shit to fix the more broken shit. Yeah. Well, it looks pretty good. You can't even tell where the crack was. However, the color is a little bit on the bright side, so we're gonna have to respray it again. Luckily, all the hard work with the filler and stuff is done, so we'll just slap another color on it and it'll be fine. Okay, I fixed the wiring and tightened these things up so they're ready to go on whenever. Okay, I have some actual color match paint, so we're gonna try this and hopefully it looks better. Yeah, the new color is definitely a lot closer. Still not perfect, but it's close enough. Okay, our gasket kit came in the mail finally, so we can start putting this nonsense back together again. This also came in the mail, some kind of award. Must have the wrong address. Anyway. Whoever had this apart last put RTV here. I'm not certain if it's supposed to have RTV here, but I'm gonna put it back just in case. I've just been putting all these little pieces in grocery bags. It's working pretty well at keeping stuff from getting lost, keep it clean and all that. Found an old plunger. Perfect for wedging this. Yes. Click. Click. Well, it's the big show. I like the way this stuff is assembled. Somebody just came in with a MIG welder and stuck this shit together. It's a really old school way of doing it. From what I understand, these older Harleys are kind of what you want, since Harley's kind of fallen off in the past few years. You know, they've switched to fuel injection and kind of overcomplicated things. On cars, I'm anti-carburetor. Carburetors suck on cars, but motorcycles, they're okay. Seems like they always just kind of work on motorcycles, but not on cars. I'm not sure why that is, but anyway. Okay, this is back together, so now we gotta put back all this piddly shit. I put these on upside down. Okay, we're waiting on parts again, so I'm gonna go back to cosmetics. I'm gonna put some mud on this and fix this damage here. I hadn't even looked in here. We got electrical tape, a hole saw, a light, radio harness, clip stuff, radio stuff, a mixtape. What's, oh, okay, it's one of those play music from your phone and your radio's a million years old mixtapes. Got the foot. Oh, we're missing that on the other side. It's not there right now, but we needed that. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so I kind of messed up with this tire. So I looked at it loosely, you know, I was like, yeah, it's round, it's made out of rubber, it's about the right size. I neglected to notice that it's a tube type tire. So I went and had it mounted, and it's holding air, but there's no tube in it. So I'm gonna see if I can put this tube in it. Just remember to have a shredder valve tool. Yes. Good. Safekeeping. I always know where it is. I'll never lose it. Okay, I don't have the tools to do this. I thought maybe I could get the bead off of this thing, but no, I don't have the tools. If I at least had like a manual tire machine, I could probably do it, but honestly, with just a screwdriver and a hammer, it's not happening. You know, we all have things that, you know, our least favorite stuff that we like to do to cars or bikes or whatever. Mine is tires. I hate messing with tires. I'm going back to the tire shop and having them put the stupid inner tube in. Hey, my shifter linkage fell off. Nice. Well, they waited for me to get back anyway. I've changed my mind. I went and got a motorcycle tire change stand with bead breaker. So I'm gonna do it my damn self. Yeah, that made it a lot easier. Could I have done it with some tire irons? Yeah, but I didn't want to. So I didn't. I use this. Taking this car because the shifter fell off the charger. Okay, our tire is mounted properly now. It's got an inner tube in it, so now we can put it on. Okay, the wheel is back on, the belt is tensioned, so now we can put all the non-essential garbage back. So this exhaust clamp is kind of messed up. I think the last guy had just the top one torqued down that was keeping it in, and that's all that's keeping it from going and coming off. So I guess we'll do the same thing for now and figure out something better later. So this top exhaust clamp is messed up too. It's torqued all the way down and it's just loose. Like, how the shit was this staying on before? Was the chrome holding it on or what? Oh, I see, the weld broke. That's really useful. I'll get the welder, I guess. Okay, that's stuck back together. Hopefully it'll work now. Well, that's fixed now. It still doesn't attach down here, obviously, but it is tight, at least. So, I don't know. The whole exhaust on this thing kind of sucks. So there's a bunch of different places we need to add oil to this thing, and Harley has a special one for the engine and the chain case and the transmission, but after some research, it seems like most people just simplify things by putting the same oil in all three. So went and got a bunch of this Lucas motorcycle oil, engine, transmission, primary. It's oil. Yeah, sure. So the chain case is easy. We just pour it in until it's level with the thing. Get in there, get in there. All right, that's full. All right, now for the transmission, there's just a regular old drain plug on the bottom. Now for the engine, supposedly there's a screen right here we gotta clean before we change the oil. Oh, there it is. It doesn't look very dirty, but we'll clean it anyway. And the engine oil is a sump system, so we drain it right here. I love how it just leaks right onto the exhaust. That's great. And it's got an oil filter down here too, just like a car does. Release. I said release. Release. Release now. Release. Thank you. Now we fill this with unknown amount. I don't know, until it's good. So we didn't overfill this thing before. It's just got another issue with oil coming out of the breather, which will hopefully go away because I'm thinking it's because it was tipped over. Okay, well, I'm hoping that's the last little bit of mechanical work we got to do to this thing. I'm hoping that the oil leaking out of the breather problem will just kind of fix itself after it's ridden for a while. Got new latches for the thing. Put clips on the thing. Yeah, ooh. Anyway, I'm wet sanding and polishing right now. It looks a lot better already. I've only done this little part. I got the whole rest of it to do. But it's interesting how a lot of people, when you mention wet sanding your paint, they go, ugh, wet sanding paint, that's stupid, I'm not doing that. But they just, it works so well. You're just sanding the top layer off. It's fine. Like, no, you're gonna scratch the paint, you're gonna wear through the paint. No, not if you do it right. I'm a little bit confused about Harley culture, because when I think of Harley riders, I think of America, Harley Davidson, freedom. But when I look at forums and stuff and, like, you know, trying to figure out information on the bike, it's just people going, the service manual states. I don't know. It's an interesting clash of worlds. Polish that metal boy. Polish that damn metal boy. forgot this saddlebag is all messed up too, so more mud. Looking better and better. This half is basically done. This half is less done. ...2004, holy shit, this tire can drink. Off of there, dude. Okay, we paid our blood sacrifice, and it's on. Well, the radio's in, kinda. It's just zip tied in for now. It's gonna have to have a custom bracket made at some point, but I don't have time for that right now, so it's in there. It's fine. Showed FM weather.
Holy shit, there's so much rain! There's a lot of rain! My pee, my whole shirt is wet, my pants are wet. This rain is crazy! It's not a dog, he's flying!
Anyway, that works pretty good.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper.
So the logo on this replacement fender is really extremely stuck. I've already tried heating it up and spraying it with shit, nothing seems to work, so I'm just gonna try to chisel it off and hope I don't damage the fender. Nah. Oh, I thought it was glued on. It's actually held on with pins. Whoops. And of course now there's holes in the fender that need to be filled up. Why does everything on this thing insist on taking forever? You know what? I'm probably just gonna throw it on like it is. Screw you, I'll do it later. I mentioned earlier how Harley Davidson is an American company, especially back in 1986, but then I look over here and see Showa, made in Japan. Well, 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 well. I'm gonna go ahead and put some balancing beads in this tire. I think about half this bag will be about the right amount-ish. Good luck in there. Yes, that's enough Loctite. The tire's not wanting to seat. That's where it's supposed to be, and over here it's not there. That's not great. Please. Okay, well, as a last-ditch effort to try to seat this stupid tire, I'm gonna try ye old spray brake clean in it and cause an explosion and hope that seats it. Why did it wait for me to go grab it? Okay, I went and got some starting fluid, so we're gonna try this one more time. Well, this stuff did about the same thing as the brake clean did. It doesn't go whoosh and seat the bead like it's supposed to. It just kind of slowly flames on and then fizzles out and tries to catch the tire on fire. So, yeah, eat a dick, Dunlop. Anyway, while we're messing around with Dunlop's dumbass, we had our fairing sent off to a decal place, so that looks pretty good. Doesn't match exactly, but it's close enough. We also got it a battery that's empty. Okay, we gotta fill it up with acid. I haven't had to do that before. That's old school. Okay, so batteries that you have to pour acid in before you can use them. Basically, the only real benefit to these is they're actually brand new by the time you use them. Because, you know, normally the batteries you buy at the auto parts store or whatever that are charged when you get them, they've been holding a charge the entire time they've been on the shelf. So they're not technically new. And this has never been charged before. So when we charge it up, it's a brand new battery. Okay, so this battery came with a nut that you stick in there. And when I put this bolt through, it's not long enough to, you know, go through and, you know, thread on. You know what I mean? That's not long enough. It's not. With great effort, I could probably try to pry that up to make it thread in, but I don't wanna. I just don't wanna. I had some longer bolts laying around, thankfully. You know, I'm not an engineer, but I'm always doing their jobs for them for some reason. What's up with that? I can't make this shit up, man. I just wanted to cut a zip tie. Our tire's mounted now. My brother has the proper tools, so he got it on there. Okay, scratch that. So he had to completely remove it to get the balancing beads. We kind of got stuck in the bead. My bad. But then he put it on backwards. It's a rotational tire, and it's flipped around, and it needs to go the other way. So it's gonna have to be removed and put back on again. Okay, we took it back to my brother, and he flipped it around the correct way. So now, can we please get the wheel on? So since we have the starter out and the clutch and all that stuff, I'm gonna quickly make sure that those still work, because that would suck. This thing just puked its brains out. Oh, shit. Where the hell did this come from? Oh God. Wow. So here's the weird thing. The oil in the reservoir hasn't really gone down much at all. And this is clean oil in here. That's dirty oil down there. So is our engine just filled with oil from being tipped over, and now it's just... But no, because we were running it before and it didn't leak this bad, so... But why would it be puking that much out of the breather? Is there a return pump that's not working? Okay, I did more research. So apparently, Harleys like to do this. It's a common thing that they do. They just do it. They love doing this. They just do this. Harleys love doing this. They do this. Harleys love doing this. Apparently it's called wet sumping. Basically, there's a check ball, I believe, right here that allows oil to go from the engine back to the reservoir, but not from the reservoir back to the engine. And basically it gets dirty and stops working, and allows oil to drain from the reservoir slowly into the engine as it sits. So when you start it up, it goes and shoots oil everywhere. So basically we can remove that check ball and hopefully just clean it. Okay, the check ball is down in there. I wish I had a magnet to get it out with, but I don't. So we're just gonna kind of clean, start working, please, do your job. Okay, so if that is in fact the problem, basically if we start it again with a drain pan under it this time, wish I thought of that before, it should just stop after running it for a while. Hey, we fixed it! It didn't leak a drop that time. Of course it didn't, we had a drain pan under it. So basically, I guess it already puked out everything it was going to. It's not out of oil, I already checked that. So hopefully it's fixed. So before, the front brake wasn't working at all, but after we took everything apart and put it back together again, now it's working perfectly. Sure, we'll take it. So one of the final issues we have is the kickstand doesn't stay up. The spring's all messed up. Okay, I got another spring that I'm just gonna stick alongside the other spring. Hopefully that fixes it. Okay, well I ended up using 3 of them. Yeah, I should have got a bigger one. Oh well, it'll work for now. Okay, well it's had 24 hours to have oil seep back into the engine again, so we'll see if it decides to puke its guts out. Hey, I don't think any came out. Nice. Okay, so that's fixed. We didn't touch the engine. Why is it running like asshole now? It's running really rich, blowing black smoke out of the tailpipe. The choke is stuck shut. Oh, how the shit did that happen? So since the beginning, this choke cable's not been in the hole. I don't know why. Okay, that works now. I had to bend the tab in to get it to open all the way, but that's good now. Oh yeah, that's much better. Well, here this is. I would go out and ride it more, but I kind of don't have a motorcycle license, so that's unfortunate. But it's not mine anyway. So this was actually pretty grueling to do out with, you know, no tools basically, with the drive belt and the tires and the clutch and the but anyway, we got it done. You know, the fairing looks pretty nice. It doesn't exactly match, but you know, I mean, it's close enough. It's not smashed up anymore, so that's the main goal that we accomplished. And obviously it could use some more cleaning up, but I'm just gonna give it to my dad. It's his baby now. But yeah, let's do a car next time. Subscribe. Let's see how good the brakes are going down this hill. They work fine. They'll work better after the rust is knocked off of them.